Hey guys, for those of you that don't know me, my name is Jeff Huxford. I am 39 years old. My wife's name is Jackie. I have two children, Jace, who just turned 11, and Jenna, who's 9 years old. Up until January of 2016, I was practicing family medicine in a small town in northwest Indiana called DeMont, which is about an hour from Chicago. In January of 16, that month, I had to retire due to complications from a traumatic brain injury. And then in September of 2016, later that year, my family just felt called and we decided to move down to Franklin, Tennessee, and that's where we currently live. Down here in Franklin, I'm working on my personal blog, Finding Normal, My Journey to Discovering Purpose. Another new development since we've been down here is that I'm now working on a new book, or my first book, which will be coming out hopefully later this year. If you want to check out my blog, you can go to my website, jeffhuxford.com. So I actually started blogging about 6 months ago, but this is my first attempt at vlogging. I've never vlogged before, so this is a new thing for me. In my first vlog, I just really wanted to talk to you guys about my story. A lot of you guys have heard my story already, but I wanted to tell you again and share a few more things that maybe you didn't know. Also, for people that haven't heard my story, they can get to know a little bit more about me. In this vlog, I'm also going to talk about why I decided to call my blog Finding Normal, like where I came up with that name and why that's significant. So on May 3rd of 2012, my wife Jackie and Jenna were at our house. They were having a garage sale. My son Jace was at kindergarten at the time, so he was at school. It was a Thursday, so that was my day off. I decided to run into town that day to pick up some stuff at the hardware store. They had some hanging baskets on sale, so I decided to run there and pick up those, check those out. And I actually don't remember anything else about that day. After I went to the hardware store, that's all I remember, nothing else. Despite the fact that I can't remember the day or what happened on that day, it's a day I'll never forget, because it's a day that changed my life forever. So on my way home from the hardware store, I was driving through a flashing red light, and a truck ran the red light and broadsided my truck and slammed me into a concrete utility pole. From there, I was hurt very badly. I was lifelined by helicopter to Advocate Christ Hospital, which is a level 1 trauma center in Oak Lawn, Illinois, which is just outside of Chicago. They weren't sure about the scope of my injuries or my prognosis, but at the time they took me from the scene of the accident, they weren't sure if I was even going to survive. But based on how things looked and the severity of the accident, I'm very blessed and I'm very fortunate to be alive today, and especially to be talking to you today about what I'm talking to you about. I did have several fractured ribs and a collapsed lung. They had put a chest tube in me at the accident scene. But my most significant injury that I had was a severe traumatic brain injury that occurred when my head struck the concrete pole. Now, I found all this out at a later date. At the time of the accident, I had no idea what was going on. I was oblivious to what was going on. Once I came to, or once I came out of my comatose state, I entered something called post-traumatic amnesia, a state called post-traumatic amnesia, or PTA, and that is something that occurs after a head injury, and it's a state where you're just markedly confused and unaware of your surroundings, unaware of who you are, where you are, what you're doing there. So actually the first real recollection I have is me thinking I'm looking out a hotel room window that I'm on vacation looking at a hotel room window out of the ocean. But when in reality, I was looking out the hospital room window, looking out over Lake Michigan. At the time, I was at the Rehab Institute of Chicago, or RIC. This is where I was at the time. But due to the severity of my brain injury, they were unsure if I'd be able to go home straight from there. They thought maybe when I was discharged from RIC, I would have to go to another long-term care facility to get more rehab and more therapy. But to my doctor's surprise, once my post-traumatic amnesia cleared up, my recovery started going pretty well, and I recovered pretty quickly. So after being at RIC for a month, I was able to go home, and I was able to do outpatient therapy from home. Now, because my recovery had been going so well, and I was getting better so quickly, I was under the impression that this would continue, and then I would eventually get back to where I was before, to get back to 100%, to get back to normal. I believed I would get back to who I was before my brain injury. And many people that I would see out in public, they were well-meaning people. They would see me out, and they would say things like, I'm glad you're back to 100%, doc, or looking good, looking normal, everything looks, I'm glad you're back to normal. And I wouldn't disagree with them. I would kindly just say thank you and move on. But inside, I knew that wasn't right. I knew that I wasn't back to 100%. I knew that I wasn't normal. I wanted to believe them, but I just knew I wasn't. So that was a tough time for me. So when I started thinking about writing a blog, I decided to name my blog Finding Normal. But what I'm talking about today, I titled Normal Lost. So this minor variation in the verbiage was intentional. I think the difference is significant. I chose Normal Lost because I feel like my normal was lost in a single one-time event. It happened in a split second. My loss of normal was instantaneous. And again, I called my blog Finding Normal because my search for normal, or finding normal, is going to be a long, lifelong journey. And I'm convinced now I'm never going to find the normal that I once had. And I'm going to have to find what my doctors have been saying from the start. This is something they said to me and Jackie from the start, that we have to find our new normal. Now, I'm not sure what my new normal is going to look like. I'm getting some ideas now what it is, but it's definitely going to be a journey. Trying to find my new normal so far has proved to be difficult and challenging, and I'm still not exactly sure what it's going to look like, but it's a journey I've decided to embrace, and one I'm excited to share with other people. Hello again, guys. I just want to thank everyone for watching my first vlog here. If this is something that people seem to like, I will try to do some more of these in the future. And again, if you haven't already done so, you can check out my blog at jeffhuxford.com, jeffhuxford.com. If you have any questions or comments, please feel free to contact me. You can email me at newnormal5312@gmail.com. Again, guys, thanks for watching, and God bless.